Why don't we do a quick intro around the room here? We got Archie.
Archie Lapierre, American Legion, Post 91 in Moosup.
Excellent. Bob?
I'm the registrar for the Plainfield Coffeehouse in Plainfield.
Excellent.
Jay Grinsky, Post 5446, VFW Commander.
Daryl Stevens from Griswold, Post 10,004, BFW.
Ed Burdick from Post 10,004 as well, Junior Vice Commander there. So we get new officers, or maybe we get.
But we're also in the Veterans Coffeehouse.
Yeah, true.
Okay.
So the word is spreading, and I want to thank everybody for coming. I know there might be a few people jumping in a little later. I wanted to share with you some of the stuff that we've been able to find. First of all, let me take a quick look here. We have a quick overview of what we would like to talk about today, but it's we want to get a visit to both sites. We talked about a visit to both sites to get the markers off of each of the tanks to get a better representation of what they are. So if we can work on doing that next. In the meantime, I'll show you something in a few minutes. How much work is it going to take? Now, I heard last meeting we'll talk about 3 weekends, maybe 4 weekends. We get the whole thing done. So that's fantastic. And if we need more people to help out, we've already got a lot of people. I know that past commander for 91 was talking about how he was reaching out to the Boy Scouts, wanted to help out.
Oh, yeah.
And I thought that was a great idea.
Yeah.
So we can absolutely, here we go. Richard's coming in. We'll wait for Richard to get connectivity.
I didn't know he's got the same last name as Apple iPad.
So Richard, once you get in, could you just give us a shout?
That's his first time on Zoom, so
That's
be
okay.
patient.
Yeah, I think what it is usually it's the connectivity issue. It's the bandwidth, how long it takes for you to get
in.
good bandwidth. There you go. Richard, you there?
Yes, I am.
And
I did it.
you did it. You did a great job. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to share a screen with you. A couple things that I wanted to show you, everybody, is doing a little detailed work and trying to get some history of the tanks. I want to thank the individuals who reached out. We were actually looking for more, background of each of the tanks, so we could identify with it. And this is some of the things that we want to put out to the public.
What else?
James Bagden's having problems finding the meeting, so let me just do the link to him. Let me just pop down for a minute. Oh, can't do that, but I can go over here and forward that off to. All right, so I sent that out to you, James. You should be getting it soon. Bear with me one more second. Copy. Yeah, I'll send it right to his email. All right, so we're good there. So we'll have James Bagden coming in a few minutes. We're going to do the Moosup one first.
Last name?
Bagden, Bagdon. All right, so this is a great stuff we have with information about the tank itself. I thought it was very interesting because we're talking about the one in Moosup, and that's the one built in 77. It talks a little bit about where it was built at, and definitely some sister tanks it has around the area close to us. So that was a great info about what's going on. The other one is the Plainfield tank.
I want to.
Yes, 1942. So 42. This is the type of information. What I'd like to do eventually is put it up on the flyers for when we do the presentations. Kids that come, pass them out to there.
Well, if I may, is it possible that we can eventually do a plaque?
We're going to get there.
Okay, right.
We're going to get there.
Wow.
So we're talking about, how the history of that particular M5 Stewart was put together. 1942, and it was taken off. Was it Cadillac, General Motors?
Yeah.
Stopped assembly, started the tank.
Yeah, that's what they did.
So
What would be nice if we could do some research and find out the actually Army guys or National Guard guys that were in that tank, you know?
well, that's what we were talking
Well,
about
you
the
know
last
what?
meeting.
Crew
I
members,
would, no,
crew
I
members.
would get them after it's completed.
No, yeah, but
Yeah,
I
yeah.
mean, you
But
have to
you know,
start,
just, he says continue.
start the
Yeah.
process, you know?
We've been already talking about that the
Yeah.
last meeting. We talked about actually
Yeah,
finding somebody who's local, who's
Yeah.
been in one of the tanks, or
yeah,
family member who might have
Yeah.
been in the 42 tank.
yeah,
And then what we'd like to do is put a special decal on.
yeah.
Gotcha. Yeah, that's nice.
Jim Bagnan's coming
It's a
in
little
now.
easier with ships, you know, in the Navy,
Yeah, that's what I'm saying,
Yeah.
but that,
but the same concept.
Hey, Jim, how you doing?
Were you Navy?
Good. Thanks for letting me in.
Excellent. So I just want to do a quick review. What I did was with the information that you gave with
Of course.
the tanks, the history of the tanks,
Yeah,
sharing it with everybody, saying this is a great start, telling us a little bit more history about what we're getting ourselves into here and sharing this.
okay.
So this is, you know, again, if you go online, you can find little things. This is actually the tank here.
Yep.
So, let's see, we're gonna go to take a look at the other one. No, we already got rid of that one. So we talked about, you know, making sure that we can understand the volume of work, getting a couple, how many weekends it's gonna take to actually move in and take care of it. The volunteerism is absolutely fantastic.
does anybody know what the process is that they want us to go through?
Yep.
Like if it's 5 or 7 steps or whatever, I would
Outside,
just like an
inside.
outline, not a detail, you know, just to
Yep.
start the thing, like what step, you know?
Yep, we were talking about, once we do the history and they find the history of the tank, to be able to find the type of decals were on that particular tank.
Yeah, okay.
We have people who are volunteering to get the decals, actually to do all the work, to get the decaling, to try to make it as close to as it was as possible.
Right.
And I thought that was, you know, great because they're talking about, well, kind of, sort of. They're talking about, well, you know, this tank in particular had a machine gun on it. Well, it's
Yeah.
great. I don't think that we're gonna. The kids out there would be playing on it too much.
There are 2 machine guns on that tank, one in the turret and one in the bow.
Yep.
Now I have replicas of the 30 caliber with the sleeves on it, which can go right into the openings. If you want to do that, and I realize that security, you know, from vandalism is a big point for all of these memorial tanks everywhere.
But you know, your idea is a good one, because maybe a special event once a year that we have, we might be able to actually do that, you know what I mean?
You mean slide them in and then slide them
Yeah,
out and take
yeah.
them off? Yeah, you can do
Is
that.
it
We have
possible?
had one do that. You're still going to have, yeah, you could probably do that. You're still going to have to close up those openings
Right.
for the weather.
No, you're
Some
right
sort
about
of
that.
plug could be found. It's the same thing with the headlights on that tank. One of them is, it looks like it's welded and not in real good shape on the left-hand side. And on the right-hand side, I don't think there's anything. I've got new headlights if you want to try them, and new tail lights if you want to try them too. It would just take a little bit of field expedient to put them on there. We've done that before. And then those 2 holes in the front, which were actually observation ports for the driver and the co-driver, those probably need to be welded shut. I think they go right through inside too,
What
don't
was
they?
the crew component of that configuration? 2, 3 guys?
5.
5?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Freaking Christ,
You got a
But-
driver.
that's when everybody weighed 120 pounds though, huh?
113, I think it was.
They had 6-footers in there too.
And it was rather warm in there at that
No,
time.
it was hot and cold. It was just, it was
Coffins.
tight,
Coffins.
crew quarters.
Wow.
I cannot find an antenna mount for the Stewart tank. They are so rare and so expensive, because what we usually do is put an antenna mount on there with an American flag and Abrams Company flag on it. But that's something that's not necessary, I guess.
I think once we get each of those tanks tagged as to knowing exact serial and designations, we can go forward with that as to how we'd like to dress them out.
Have you thought about, are you going to stay with the same color?
I think that it would be, you know, appropriate because that's the colors that were original.
Okay. Then it obviously served in North Africa, probably.
And yeah, that one, yeah.
Do we know the history of this particular tank?
I think Chuck is still working on that with the serial numbers to find out where it went.
This one. Sherman.
So I'm not sure what you guys want to do as far as bumper numbers and stuff on it to designate
Yeah, keep those.
the history of the tank, if that's
Well,
what
this
we're
one won't
looking
have
at.
any of those colors.
That's a solid color.
Yeah, yeah. Just
I might be asking a stupid question. This is Ed Burke, so you can attribute it to me. Has anybody that's listening today been down to like one of there's many, but the Army War Museum near Carlisle Barracks in Pennsylvania?
No, I've not been there. I work at the American Heritage Museum up in Stowe, Mass.
Okay, what I'm saying is they have static displays with tanks and other armored vehicles. I'll take a drive down in the next month, just to do like a walk around and see if there's any ideas we can bring back on how to display it in the future, if you think it's profitable, you know? I mean, they have a nice setup there, you know, for Army equipment.
Well, a quicker trip would be to Stowe, Mass.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay.
He's already got it up there. Look.
So if you notice here that I'm sure this is only about 10 years old, this picture maybe, but I wanted to notice the stonework as well in the
Stone.
front corner.
yeah.
I will take care of cleaning that up. We did the same stonework cleanup over here in Plainfield.
Gotcha.
We'll do the same thing over
on
here.
that one.
What do they do? Sandblast it?
No, it actually is a chemical that he puts
Chemical.
on. This is Mercier Monument that'll take care of it for us.
Okay.
Yeah,
Yep, we'll
it's like
take.
an etcher. almost.
Well, while you're talking about cleanup, do you notice this pictures that there's like a concrete slab under the tank?
Mm-hmm.
Is that out there or is it just on grass?
It's right there. Same thing right here. Same thing.
Okay.
Yeah, it's on concrete.
Okay.
Yep.
Just curious.
So the other things I was going to mention would be let's see if I can get that to go shared. So we want to make sure about the detailing is done properly and as close to historic as you can. We wanted to engage with photographers in a way because this is a living process of what we do and share it with the public.
Gotcha.
The second selectman and his wife do a video like they did for the VJ parade. We want to put the same thing together to show all the people that would come out and help and support and do something like this would be fantastic. I'll get to the last one here in a second, but basically we talked about the all AMVET 47, post 5546. We talked about American Legion 91. Any of the other posts that want to help it and pitch in, absolutely. We want to make sure we recognize them and have them in that video and photographs. The Boy Scouts. And the last one I was going to mention was today I had a visit from the AMVETS Ladies Auxiliary. They came in with a project they'd like to be able to share with us. And let me get that up on the
Where
share.
are they from?
Moosup.
Can you see that right there? Is it showing the Veterans Memorial Park to you?
No.
Yep. No? Okay, bear with me a second. Let me do this. Share screen to this. Now you should see it.
40 kids, but 80 of them have.
So what happens is they have something that they try to put together where they want to show the history of the park, history of the tank, and a relationship to how it got there as well.
Right.
Yeah.
So what they want to do is they want to encapsulate something in a either a plexiglass or a laminated board, and they have the board by the tank. That ties in a lot of the things that you really want to do for the residents, the public, the kid. The kids come up there and they're looking. Right now they're just climbing on the things.
Right.
But if they had something to connect to, is how the history got there.
Right.
Sharing the town's history of why it's so important to us.
We're gonna put in that Teresa and JC used to live in it. too?
No, we're not going to put that one. But
That's
this
the
is
real history.
That's some real
Yeah.
history.
but this is a nice way to
They should be on there
help to
improving.
share that information about the tank itself and the history of our villages and our town. So I'd like to do something similar to that over here
Yeah, yes,
because that gives because I see kids climbing on the thing all the time,
of course. That's
but they
what
have no
kids
idea
love
what it is.
No, other than the tank.
It's a tank.
But they use their imagination 'cause
Yeah.
it's a beautiful thing.
So we talked to the high school. We're talking now to the elementary schools about being able to utilize this type of thing to educate.
Yes.
So this is what they'd like to do. They're working on this right now. The insignia is obviously on the top, and more history down below. So it's a great opportunity.
What year was it placed here?
1971 in Moosup. Here, I'm not positive. I gotta look that one up.
Kevin,
Yeah.
that picture on the bottom where the flagpole is.
Yep.
We have a stone in front of that flagpole
Yes,
for Herbert Bianchi.
I see it right here on the right-hand side.
He was the gentleman that was in charge of that project when it was built. And I spoke with his daughter.
Yep.
And I said, to me, if they were going to put a time capsule in, I suggested that they put it by, his stone.
Okay. Now, he's pictured in the top left-hand corner, correct?
Well, that was the,
Yep.
that was the day they dedicated it.
Yep. Moosup
At the
American Legion
bottom
past commander.
right. You see the flagpole?
Yep.
Well, right in front of the flagpole is a marker.
Okay,
Bianchi.
excellent. So now let me tell you what the other things that we'll be doing as the town wants to make sure that it participates and helps out. The town is working with Lowe's and the alternative high school group. They're the ones that like to put up benches.
Oh, okay.
Okay, so Lowe's will help the donations for those as well. We want to make sure we place them properly. So Archie, if you can help us out with that, that would be great, because we want to make sure we get a good viewing stand over there for the parade and some benches. Over here, the same thing, we're going to put benches up.
What type of benches?
Well, we've had the ones with the metal base and the wood seats.
Okay,
As
where
they will
would
curve
they
slats.
be placed?
Well, we're looking at exactly right.
Best position.
Yeah, best position. So we're going to look over and pick out the good spots. We don't want to interfere with what's been done over there already.
Yeah, yeah.
We'll work with the, both posts to make sure we're working in conjunction.
Yep.
This is the reason why I've asked you all here.
Yeah.
I want to make sure that we work together. It's really,
Oh, right.
the town will do what it can to put money into cleanups.
Yeah.
We talked about the benches. We talked about, let's see, show the chain link again.
Temperature up there. Let's say highs in the 40s
No.
on a
Let's see if I can get that back up.
Sunday.
All right, Joe, what music will be playing?
I gotta show everybody that hasn't seen it yet.
Playing for April the 30th.
Oops, back. That one.
So,
So what I'm gonna do is share.
yes, we're surprised.
That.
They were originally supposed to open
That
in
right
May.
There we go. I talked about this last meeting, but this is something I want to do over here on the left-hand side, is I want to dress it up properly. So you have areas that are marked there for walking up to the flagpole or walking up to the monument. And I want to make sure I get the chain link around that in the Moosup area all the way around as well. I thought about putting the chain link around the tanks, but the problem is the kids are going to jump on it anyway.
And it'll probably end up
This is just
breaking
gonna
it
break.
eventually, yeah, it'll break.
So, these are the things that, we
One
live
of,
with.
one of the ancillary benefits of doing this is we want the kids to be able to crawl on it, don't you? I mean, come on, let's
Be part of it.
Yeah,
Yeah, I mean, that's,
The other thing is Archie, just so you know, and the rest of you know, I have reached out to a local company to make sure we have the proper power through a meter system at both parks. Like the one over here has one, but I want to tie it into to do proper lighting for the flagpole.
gotcha. So it's
Same thing for the proper lighting over in Moosup Park.
Yeah,
Get
so
the
it's
proper lighting over there. And when it comes time for events, like the parade, to be able to put a grandstand there and be able to plug in right there, it makes it so much easier. So I want to do that as well. Those
I had
are,
a question for the Moosup Park.
Yep.
Where is there parking for our guys to come over and like paint and grind some of that old stuff off
well,
if
that's,
there's not a sandblaster done it?
there's the easy one. Right behind, if you take a look at where the fencing is for the park,
The school.
right behind it, there's a school
There's
system.
a school.
It's the next street up. You can park
Okay.
right there and you can walk, actually you park very close to the fence and walk right around the corner of the fence right there to the park.
The part.
Okay, so we can stop out front and drop off equipment and then just park over there then.
Well,
Yep,
there is,
absolutely.
there is a driveway that used to be there, but when they put the sidewalks in Moosup, they didn't put a driveway cut there. So
Yeah,
you could, in, a couple of boards or just jump the curb
Right.
and you could get 3 or 4 flatbeds right on that.
Well, yeah, no, we don't want to screw that up, but yeah, okay, great. That was one of the other questions I had.
yeah, Jim, when you're coming down, just give me a call. I'll give you my cell phone. You just give me a call and I'll meet you around that area and I'll pull you over to the back area.
Well, actually, a lot of the guys want to come down and talk to you all about it anyway on a Saturday, if it's possible to set that up
Okay,
at both places.
sure.
Just they're all interested, especially the guys who are from Connecticut.
Yep.
Who were tankers, want to come over and see the thing
Absolutely.
and talk about what's going to be happening.
Okay.
I don't know, a Saturday would be best for us because most of them are working and
Yeah.
Yep.
and whatnot.
Not everybody.
So if you guys could just give me a date, I'll let them know and we'll be there.
You said give you a date, huh? What do you think?
Yeah, well, it doesn't have to be, tomorrow or something like that,
No, what do you think about next Saturday?
the 27th.
Yep.
That works for me.
Is this gonna be a consultation, or actually start the project?
Well, I think it really does start the project because you get acclimated to these gentlemen will be
people
acclimated to the area.
find out where it is.
They can take a look at the actual tank, look for the markings. So that's the first step, really.
Yeah.
And then they can get it gauged. By the way, we
Which
gauge.
tank is this? The one at
We're gonna see both.
both.
Yeah, so we want to actually see both. What I think the other thing would be gauge how much materials are going to be needed. If we can't get a sandblaster, how much work it's going to be entailed to it. If you need X amount of paint, we already have the gentleman who volunteered to buy all the paint.
Well, is that going to be the Home Depot paint that you were talking about?
No.
No.
Oh, okay. Is this
It could be like a Kark paint.
Yeah, this
Okay.
gentleman, former military, he goes, I know where I can get military paint.
Okay,
So we're very happy to hear
that works because I had kind of thrown together some numbers of the guys that we use from Rapco paints in Texas.
Yep.
Which was all of it was under $400.
Yeah, he said he thinks he estimated himself about 600. So it sounds about right.
Is it?
Yeah. Tell me, do you want to do just one color on this M60? Or are you going to paint it the 3-color camouflage that was the standard colors for Europe during the Cold War?
What do you think, Archie?
I think it should go back to the original color.
The 3?
No, it was solid green before, wasn't it?
Oh, I don't know. The pictures I've seen, and I've only seen, the pictures are kind of, it does look like it was 3-colored camouflage, which was the olive drab, then the brown, and then some black on it.
Yeah, they would have painted over what the original color was.
You mean that one?
Yeah, because I don't believe we had 3 colors in the Second World War, did we?
No, but the M60 was not in World War II.
Yeah, it
It was
wasn't
in
in
Cold
World
War.
War II.
Now, I'm not an Army guy or a tanker guy. I did see a couple of movies on TV one time. But I do have a question for someone that's more knowledgeable. That tank I'm looking at on the screen, what's the origin of the tank? Like, where was it? Maybe that should drive the color,
Well, that is an M60 tank, which was used probably in Europe
Yeah.
during the Cold War. So when we had these tanks, they were 3-color camouflage.
Well,
Which
shouldn't
was
that be
the olive drab.
shouldn't that be dispositive of what we're going to paint it?
That's up to you guys. It's
Yeah, I'm just throwing that out there,
Yeah, that's a better scheme for the main battle tank of the 70s.
Okay, did you go on to the Zoom thing where it says join a meeting?
What are you looking for, Richard?
But this one definitely, that one probably never was camouflaged other than the OD green, if you will. Whatever
Do
color.
do you have that Zoom app where it says?
Yes, exactly. Those are the main battle tanks of the 70s.
Richard, who's trying to get
And
in?
the Abrams took over after that.
But even the other native countries
Can't hear me?
had the same scheme.
Yeah.
So-
All right.
We didn't fight in deserts then.
Anyways, let's go to the rest of it here. Share screen with that. All right, so we talked about the photography, see if we can get somebody, which we'll do, definitely. Adding some benches where they're appropriate, decorative fencing, lighting, and power. And what we'll definitely do is, the final piece of this is, I have contact with the Norwich Bulletin. He said, just let me know when. We'll make sure he puts stories out there for us so we know what's going on.
The App Store.
And so we definitely
on that.
can make sure some connections with the public. We're also making seeing if we can do a tie-in. I was mentioning here the MVET Ladies Auxiliary doing a sharing of their town's history for that display. And we want to do a tie-in because I've already reached out to Lieutenant Governor, who was very much involved with trying to get something together last year for the a ceremony for the
Asked for
Vietnam veterans that remain in the area, and she wanted to come here to do a ceremony for them. And I think what we could do is definitely tie that in with her, because if you think about it, if we do this correctly, May 31st being Memorial Day, we can actually get it done for that if we can push for it. And then she'll already be on board with coming out and see what else we can get out here for dignitaries.
Yeah, that probably would be a good thing because I know we're trying to have a big Memorial Day thing too.
Yeah.
So if we sequence the timing of it,
Oh.
you can probably get those BIP.
Yep.
We got a 2-for-1 here because we also have Plainfield's tank and Moosup tank, so we can coordinate that. We don't want to step on anybody's toes.
Yeah.
We just want to make it short so that we can actually show off all the good work.
Ask for a pass code.
Usually on Memorial Day, we
Yeah,
have either the Am vets or Plainfield.
Is that to me a couple of
Turn parade, if you will.
So on these two tanks, we have the Moosup tank. I know we talked about last time, talking about splitting up some of the work.
did.
And
Okay.
Jim, you were looking to be helping and supporting on the Moosup one. We know that you have the flyer over there.
He's got the Plainfield one.
Who's the name on the front of that email?
Oh, I'm sorry.
It's okay. So Greg Webster.
Correct.
Yep. We wanted to have Greg work on the one here in Plainfield. And if that's okay with everybody, we can continue with that thought.
Yeah. He
But the
did
other-
good work on our howitzer at the Plainfield Beach.
The good thing is that there's enough people to be able to help each other out. So if we get to a position where we're stuck on something, if we can just keep.
Yeah, it did. Now, you put in the 854?
Richard, you're trying to get someone in?
Yeah,
Who is it? Who's trying to get in?
Dave Gaudette.
Oh, okay.
Oh, we do.
He
There-
keep,
No, I don't think they're doing inside.
Okay.
Bear with me a second. Dave Gaudette, right? Did I send him an email?
I think so. It's just something so bad.
I didn't send him one.
Okay, let me see if I can do something real quick with Dave and see if I can get him in.
He's gonna try and get you in, Dave.
One's dead now. JC.
I don't have his email address, that's why.
No.
Okay,
So
let's see if I got
She's still around.
yeah, she's still around.
it. It's David Gaudette at Gmail, right?
Yeah.
It's David
But most people.
Yep.
Gaudette. That's David A. Gaudette, Godette.
Well, slow it down. David A. G.A.
David A. What is it, Dave? Goddette
at
gmail.com.
I'll read it back to you. It's spelled all as one word, David A. Goddette at gmail.com.
Yep. Right. Yes.
You should see an email then in about 5 seconds. So if we can try to get together, what time you want to do it next Saturday?
Okay, you got it, Dave?
So Jim, it's okay for you, 5 a.m.?
Oh, yeah, sure. I'll be at the casino. I'll have to give up my table.
I apologize.
all
I
right?
apologize. 0500. It's 0500, right?
9 o'clock sounds better.
9 o'clock's better.
9's better.
Hey,
Is that a better time for y'all?
Where we
or-
gonna be?
whatever.
Where-
Dave.
Where's the
Meet
spot?
up who's up first?
Why don't we start here right here at the town hall? We'll get our bearings that way.
Okay.
9 a.m. Plainfield Town Hall,
On the 27th?
27th, 8 Community Ave. For anybody that wants to be there.
Yeah,
Richard, did he get the email?
Yeah, an hour.
Yeah. Did you get the email, Dave?
Yeah.
He's looking for it.
Okay.
It's just-
I know this is a totally different way of doing meetings, but sometimes it really helps. I mean, Jim, where are you from right now? Where
I
are you
live in
calling out?
Taunton, Mass.
There you go.
See, that helps, yeah.
It totally helps.
Yeah, Taunton's a little far away.
It's an hour and 20 minutes. It's not that far. It isn't too bad. Route 6 sucks, but that's all right.
Yeah.
So, hey, while you're on the
Yeah.
air, what do you think about Brady's Super Bowl up in Taunton?
I think it's a poke in the eye to Bill Belichick, to be honest with you. That was great. But you guys,
Someone
are
else
you guys
joining
New
us
York
now?
fans? Is that what I'm hearing? Are you guys New York fans?
Yeah. Well, no, I'm just
No.
saying.
No.
Oh,
No.
yeah,
No.
Definitely
it's
not, no.
No, it kind of sucks. It's sad he's gone, but
Yeah.
what are you
On
gonna
the
do?
west side of the river, we might be New York fans, but we're on the east side.
All right, we have a
Got
new
it.
person now in the room.
All right, Dave, bye.
David, can you hear us? Does he have access to a microphone or a camera?
Owner's coming on now.
If you can guide him down through that process, if he moves the mouse to the bottom of the screen, goes over to the left, you should see the mute. Or in the top right corner of your screen, there's those like 4 dots right there. When you hover over, if you click on it, it'll open up a menu and it'll allow you to speak.
Okay, so you're all on the same boat.
He's having problems. See when it does that?
Yeah.
He's scrolling to try to find audio.
Yeah.
Okay,
Hey, there you go.
You there?
Hey,
Finally.
how you doing, man?
good.
All right, motion to adjourn.
You got Dave laughing.
There we go.
All right, so we're doing a quick recap for you. We've got the 2 tanks in, one in Moosup. We got one in the Plainfield. We talked about a little more history of them because someone sent us a great little file about each one of them. We're going to continue doing our research. We're going to meet next Saturday, the 27th, 9 a.m. at the Plainfield Town Hall. We're going to go over and inspect that tank here. We'll look at the grounds work that needs to be done. We'll then take a trip over to the Moosup one, do the same thing over there, try to get some serial information off the tank to make sure we're working exactly with the right one. We'll get some background to the actual park itself. I know that I mentioned to this group earlier that we had the AMVETS Lady Auxiliary meet me this morning. They were talking about a way that they would like to be able to memorialize the Moosup Memorial Park there, and with a plaque talking about the history of how that came to be, the park itself, the tank being put up. And it's a great way to actually help out to educate our residents or anybody else that comes to the park to take a look at it, because it shows the history. And that's what we're really trying to do, is share the history of Plainfield and these great 2 tanks, really.
Exactly, yes.
So that's what we're trying to do. We will definitely see if we can get together again. Volunteerism, I can't say it enough, is fantastic.
That,
This is the type of stuff you really, you praise, because we had the Boy Scouts, the Cub Scouts, Ladies Auxiliary, obviously. We have groups from outside of Plainfield. I know you come to the Veterans Coffeehouse, but you still, this is a great way to share the history.
the community is getting involved.
Yep, absolutely. So are there other questions that we had about what's going on? Yep.
Most like a suggestion to pass to the other people and see what they think about it. This might seem like a simple thing to ask, but since there's 2 tanks, people outside the town might not know there's 2 tanks in Plainfield. But if there's a visitor that comes to one of the tanks that's not from Plainfield, it might behoove us to have some type of informational thing at each site to say there's another tank over here.
At the other site.
You know what I'm saying? What do you guys think?
With
Yeah.
a picture of the tank.
You know what I'm saying? Like, or do you think it's so, kind of redundant? Most people will know about it. I don't know. I just throw it out.
Those are good ideas. We have to talk about it and how we're going to be able to communicate back and forth. There's a couple of sites online that help to do a pinpoint of the of where the tanks are, where different sites are, like this one right here.
Like, yeah.
Yep. So we definitely have a way to get information out to the public online. I definitely have a place to put it both on the town website and on the town Facebook page. So that shares that information. Believe me.
You put it on both towns.
Yep.
Facebook page or home pages.
Yep.
That the other tank is available for viewing and all that other cool stuff.
Absolutely.
Great idea.
Yeah, these are just two villages within the town of Plainfield, but definitely we share that information. You brought up a good point, Ed. What I could do is, as a precursor to the completion of this, is to talk to Norwich Bulletin and let them know that we're definitely want to make sure that people know that this was started as a project initially as a tank, but it really is two tanks. It really is the town.
Well, another thing, if we really are reaching high, maybe not this year, but in the following year after this project, we might want to set up a directory for all static displays of tanks in Connecticut and get a like directory and maybe get on it, you know, or create it if it's not created already. Or we might find out there is one.
There is one. The tanks in New Milford and the tanks in Walcott
Yeah.
that we helped restore are listed, as well as your two tanks here in Plainfield and Moosup. And that's on a website online for
Can that be
Connecticut.
part of our informational thing when someone visits our?
Yeah, sure. We can. I can get that list out to you.
All right.
Yeah.
Yeah, the link for that.
Yeah, because people that visit might say, hey, where else?
All right. Well, I have any other questions? Any concerns? No.
Sounds good to me.
All right.
We're moving ahead, which is awesome.
One other thing why I got these Army guys on. I was ignorant of the tank community. So when they come to display, when we get done, if someone that doesn't know anything about the Army or the tankers, what's going to tell them at that display, what was the human component or that was in that thing they're looking at? Are we going to have information that says, hey, here's what?
405 or whatever.
Yeah,
Well,
something like that.
Well, I had asked Kevin about that, whether you guys, if you wanted to put the bumper numbers on the tank. Now, like the Stewart tank, if if you're going to keep it the desert color, we could find the bumper numbers for the armored divisions that were in North Africa, you know, during the first part of the Second World War. It's probably the first armored division. We can find the bumper numbers there. Now we can also use the bumper numbers from the actual serial numbers that are on the tank and find out where that tank served, if it went overseas or stayed in the States as a training tank. As far as the M60 goes, the same thing. We'll find out the bumper numbers, whether it went to Europe. We can put the bumper numbers from the division or unit that it was used in Germany on the tank itself. Or if there's somebody in your towns of Moosup and Plainfield that has a connection to the tanks, we can do that too.
Well,
But a couple of towns have done some of the put displayed signs near the vehicles, which again, you know, is kind of dangerous for vandalism and stuff. They kind of disappear. They've put plaques on the front slopes, which is a little bit safer, but you know, that's up to it's kind of up to you guys what you want to do with.
that one will be cool.
I'm hoping with a little more lighting, it'll be a little safer.
Yep.
And the
Yep.
eventual goal is if we've got power there, it's possible we can actually put up a camera system. I have to have
Even a
full
fake
board
one.
for
If
it.
it just looks like there's a camera there, they probably won't go there.
It's a toss-up.
Any other?
If you know, just if you guys research it and you want to do whatever color for that Stewart, we had been throwing some ideas around within our group that if you didn't stay with this desert color and wanted to go with the European green for World War II, we were thinking about remembering the 761st Tank Battalion, which was the Black Panthers, which was the all-black tank battalion that was one of Patton's favorites. That's just something that we were talking about. But you guys have the final word.
Okay. All right. Any other questions? Probably we'll have a few more questions when we meet next Saturday, and then
Oh, I'm sure there'll be
I do have
plenty.
one follow-up question. You guys probably know about it because, but when you say materials needed, does that include in your minds that we'll have a list of the tools that we might need to do this job as well as materials, or are the tools outside that material?
We come pretty well self-contained: generators, grinders, the pads, leaf blowers, whatever we need. We pretty much got it coming with us.
Could you bring that list to that Saturday meeting for people that are new to this, like me and Daryl? We haven't done this before, so we're kind of learning as we volunteer, you know?
Sure, I can do that.
It seems like there's a lot of stuff involved in doing this, you know?
Yeah, it's
Thank you.
you know, we come pretty well self-contained. If you're gonna have a sandblaster, I don't know if you've got that set up or if there's gonna be one.
There was talk about it, but I don't know if it's been locked down yet.
Still trying to find one.
Okay, because we can, and we have done the grinding and the priming of the vehicle in one day. And then we let that set, but we got to have like about 4 days of about 40 or 50 degrees, you know, so the metal isn't cold.
Yeah.
And we paint after that and let it set, and then come back in and paint and do the follow-up.
Sandblast, and I'll try to put out some feelers because I sense that we're having trouble locking that down. What material does a sandblast use? Is it sand itself, or is it a different material now?
Some of them use crushed walnuts. Some do use sand. It's a little messy, but it can be cleaned up pretty quickly, I guess. I've not. I know the one in New Milford. They actually covered the tank in a tent. We have no capability like that. That would be a requirement on a company outside of what we use.
Okay.
We did have a veteran from the coffee house who says that he could do the sandblasting.
Oh wow! Did he do it, or he has the equipment to do it?
He's done it, and he has the equipment.
Okay, good. Okay.
But we'll check on that Thursday.
We should lock that down before Saturday the 27th. That sandblasting, person, and find out if he's committed or not.
And what goes with it? Does he need a tent?
Does
Does
he
he
need
need
money?
material? How bad is the cleanup? That type of stuff.
Yeah, we'll have to give him the support that he needs.
Yeah,
absolutely. But we need to know what he needs.
We should know the scope of his commitment.
Yeah.
What he has.
Okay. Thank you. Appreciate the information. I like that today.
Oh, Kevin, I looked into to track for your vehicle there. At Plainfield.
How much?
It's about $15,000 per track per
Coming
side.
up for you checking account for that?
That's all?
Yeah, that's all. If you can find it.
Okay, so how many bake sales is that equal to?
That's a hell of a lot of donuts and baked goods, but it's kind of expensive.
Yeah. It may be a future project, but yeah.
One step at a time.
Like tires, can we get a recap?
Yeah. I tell you what, I will put my grant writer on it and see if he can at least look around.
Well, like the Amish surplus, it might be worth a query seeing if they have anything laying around.
Not for these.
Not for the
1942.
42s, no.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, you can try. It's even at the museum I work at, it's hard to get the spare stuff for these World War II vehicles.
I defer to you.
That was 6 years before I was born.
The Navy just puts it underwater, a lot of this stuff.
But I just let it float for 5 decades. Graveyard of ships.
I thank you all. We'll see you all on Saturday if you want to show up, and we'll walk through. Do anybody else that wants to do the walkthrough? 9 o'clock here at the town hall. Started off.
Saturday, 9 o'clock.
All right.
Sounds good to me.
Thank you all very much.
Take a look at that before we leave.
And if you have any questions, you can always email me. You got my email now, so if you want to give me a call here or email, that's fine.
All right, thank you, Kevin.
Great. Thanks a lot.
All right. Have a great night.
Have a good one, guys.
Thank you, Kevin. Yep, good night.